'Cause there's just an empty space. Hello, folks. Got this Phil Collins song stuck in my head today. Thanks, Rick Beato. What's going on? I'm starting a little early. Get all my ducks in a row here. We'll bring up some all our thangs. Maybe put this site into dark mode. So we're not overwhelming my vision here. I can read this, right? Sure. All right, let's see. Got our sign lighted up. That's important. It's vital. And, oh look, they're telling me to manage my Twitch directly from my phone. Fun. Or is it Discord? I don't even know. I get all kinds of notifications and I have to ignore most of them. Let's see. Here I am live. I've got a live button, but I'm going to switch over my channel, my chat, so I can see y'all. Y'all. I guess I've been in Texas too long. I'm starting to say y'all. I do find it shorter than saying you. Sometimes it's better to say y'all because it distinguishes the singular you from the, multiple you. Although then people go up to you and say, "Hey, what's up, y'all?" And I'm like, "It's just me." Anyway. Language, right? I'm a detail-oriented guy, I guess. All right, let's bring up a lot going on the Discord. I've been feeling really under the weather this week. I don't know if that's the right word. Just fatigued. I had a bunch of aches in my arm from doing, pumped from using the mouse, I guess. And it just kind of got to me, so I needed a break. And today I'm feeling really good. I have no aches, no pains. If I have some kind of carpal tunnel or some other medial tunnel syndrome or whatever, I guess it's decided to heal itself for the time being. We'll see. So far I've been lucky. I mean, I've been doing this stuff, typing it away at keyboards, good, bad, and ugly, since the 80s, maybe even the 70s. Typewriters and all that. Used to sit in front of the TV with my typewriter. That's I was kind of foreshadowing my future, I guess. It's like I would sit in front of the TV with my typewriter, and like when Tony the Tiger would come on, I would like try to type out what he said before the commercial was over. But I don't know, I was a weird kid. But hey, we didn't have a lot to play with, So I would be like, typewriter, sure, I'll play with that. Okay, there we go. Let's share our screen with the Discordians. And sure, better text readability is always the best thing. Good day, it's Saturday again. Can you believe it? I maybe have to move out of this place. I'm trying to get a new lease so I don't have loose or tie still on the lease. And to do that, I'll have to prove that I make 3 times the rent. I don't make 3 times the rent. I make 1.8 times the rent from your donations. Thank you very much. And yeah, that's where we're at. It's just enough to cover expenses and have some left over for emergency stuff and, of course, bounties and things like that. Right now we've got an active bounty looking for input shaping. You tell me how long it took and I will pay you what you think you're worth. Honestly, I think we can get it in there. Even with the system of the planner that we have now, we've got the trapezoid thing, and I've been thinking about doing this and experimenting. Today's not going to be the day to do that. But basically the trapezoid logic is right now, you've already split up a move into these little segments probably for on a lot of occasions you will have, like if you're using bed leveling. You've already split up the move into these, smaller slices, and then you have to, somewhere in the acceleration and deceleration, split them up again so that there's a change, and it has to happen at the right time. And I'm worried that we'll end up with segments that are so tiny, or that they're not worth having or whatever. So you have to be very careful, but then you also have to have this precise timing with these impulses and changes in speed. So I'm thinking, well, I don't know. Do we need to have some kind of maybe step-based or time-based an extra insertion, basically an extra multiplier that affects the trapezoid in such a way that it, gives it that little extra impulse. I'm not entirely sure at this point. It's a lot of experimentation and stuff. And of course, you can't just transplant the planner from another firmware over to Marlin, because it's got its own theory of motion and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of going to be an interesting toss-up situation. How much do we sacrifice existing conveniences of our current planner stepper system? How much do we make that so that there's maybe one version for AVR and one version for faster boards? I'm not entirely sure what we can do. But the question is, like, if you're using an AVR board, well, the kinds of impulses we're talking about are at like 25 milliseconds, something like that. I mean, it's not microseconds or anything. So we're talking about vibrations that would almost be audible, frankly, if they weren't so low frequency, honestly. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. But yeah. Let's move on to what we are working on today and just kind of get set up. So one thing, well, I'm going to be going back to the schema and config editor stuff. That's going to be the main thing. We can put this away, I think. I was just doing some configuration updates, just cleaning up some comments. I guess I'll push that now. Yes, I'm ready to init. Thank you. Thank you, my script that I wrote. I'm asking myself questions, I guess, indirectly. Okay, so let's carry on. Right now it's interesting that it's got this little clock on it. I'm not sure what that refers to. When a thing has a little timer on it, maybe it means there's an update or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, not going to worry about it. Here we are. There's the config editor. There it is. Let me bring it up. Boom. There we go. Okay. Now we'll have me and the code on the screen simultaneously. And of course, on Discord, you'll only be seeing my screen. You won't be seeing me. Because I could put up a little pop-up with my face on it and use that instead of the thing that's in OBS. But I think it uses more processor. I'm not sure. I could tweak it. I did. It's basically from a how to do video example code, and I was just like, oh, I'll make a little mirror thing so I can, fix my hair or whatever. So I wrote a little app and just have it like, there when I need to have myself picture in picture, and I can just drag it around. But the one in OBS is kind of neater because you can add you can see it put the little Marlin badge on there and everything. I'd have to do extra work to get that on in my version. So anyway, one of the things I want to work on, let's see, is I'm not too horribly worried about the functionality at this point. I am getting reasonable updates of the text files and so on. What I really want to do is take headers like this one here and put them above when they're longer, or in some way I can identify that the header belongs to all the options below, or at least is long enough to merit, that it is a header comment and not just an item comment. I may still keep it pushed to the right, or I'm not sure, I may put it above on the left and make it left justified. We'll see how that looks. But the trick there is going to be to look at the comment and say, well, if it's the only comment for an item, if it's long enough, I guess I'll put it above. If there's a comment and then there's a separate comment, which is like a single line comment, then that would be added as the comment for the item to go next to the item, or in that spot where this big long comment is now. So that's one bit I'm going to do. The other is to group things that belong together so that you can't say, for example, enable multiple LCDs, which you wouldn't want to do anyway. So right now, the way the code works is you can enable multiple LCDs if you wanted to inside this thing, which of course makes no sense. So yeah, so I'm going to sort of use the fact that an item is a top-level item inside the LCD section as my first clue that it belongs to, that it is a top-level LCD. There may be some that can be combined together that are top-level options, and I want to make sure that I'm careful about which ones are. I could grab the custom list, which I sort of started to do from the sanity check and use that as my group, whatever, my selector. But the next thing to do will be to look for those as the form is being built. And the thing is that, yeah, I have to basically ignore or do something to the effect of ignore all the items that I'm, as I'm going through to draw the form that are inside, say, the LCD group top level, and present a different interface. And I haven't really decided how to do that yet. I mean, the way I'm building forms is fairly, ad hoc, but that works. If I do end up with something that needs to be more systematized, I'll have the start of that, so that's fine. Yeah, and then there's some other things you can see, like all this stuff. TFT rotation, even though it's a top level option, obviously it's not an LCD type, it's just a sub option of TFT. So there's some stuff that sort of hangs out at the top level that should be under a conditional of some kind. But sometimes the conditionals are tricky, but I've got this interpreting the conditionals, so hopefully I can, maybe use more of those and sort of hide some of these. And maybe that'll be enough if I can just get everything organized. But it means that the configurator will kind of require Marlin 2.1.2 to be the earliest version. And if I could avoid that, that would be cool. But if I can't, then I can't. So as much as I don't want to tie this to specific versions and specific option names and stuff, it's hard to avoid. So that's one thing. And the other will be just to catch up with a few pull requests and just see where things are at with those. So let's switch over to Marlin, and I'll push this little tweak to the config comments. I've got a friend of mine coming by to soon, so I may have to answer the door. But he's just going to hang out in the other room while I'm doing this, so and then we'll catch up later. He's got his own things to work on after all. But it's nice to have company, as in a certain way. But I'm not going to bring him in here to hang out with me and pollute my wonderful live stream with you guys. He's on a whole different level with his stuff. It's more like web development. So anyway. I'm cool with that. We like web dev. It's fun. You can make real apps now. You can make, bloody Nintendo work inside your browser. You can have old arcade. You probably got Doom and Quake running in your browser now, right? Full speed. It's great. We're in the future. All right, so good. It is about 6:40, so yeah, we're in. Let me see what I've got to do. I want to make sure I've got my ducks in a row. Maybe there's some serious pull requests that I really need to fix. So let's see, there's a feature, there's a new board, there's a JSON that needs some fixing, there's some expanded M73, learn to spell, people, and conjugate. One thing I've learned from watching too much true crime this week on YouTube is that if you don't learn to conjugate, you may end up committing murder. So learn to conjugate, kids. Seems like there's a correlation there, I'm not sure. Remove TMC configuration section. Really? Oh, right, that's one of the things that we're not sure about. There was TMC 26X or something. I think the idea was to combine some options that are sort of like each other, but I wanted to have them be in their own, separate, because they kind of behave differently, I think. I think the units are different and everything. Anyway, my string helper class, clearly broken. Time to fix that. Let's see what's going on. I don't like broken string classes. That bothers me. I was going to say Borges. That Borgias me. That Lucretia Borgias me. All right, let's see what we got here. Update status, right. Passing status message, right. So this is a case of code that came in later, status message has changed to an object. Hello? Where are you at? Am I looking at the right thing? The right pull request? I am, right? Yeah. Oh, I see. I don't have the current version. Hold on. Somehow I don't have the current version. I've been using my laptop a lot this week, so getting things synchronized between the two, between your working copies is such a hassle when it comes to Git. You don't want to like keep your working copies in like a shared folder or like the cloud or something like that, your iCloud drive, because that seriously screws things up. And also it causes a lot of annoying extra traffic that you don't need. And that's kind of the point of Git anyway, is to sort of supplant that, right? Yeah. So how's everyone doing today? September 3rd. Yeah, I was saying I may have to move. Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed because yeah, I do have to prove my rent. I was thinking I could give them like money and have them put it in escrow. Maybe that would be one of my options so that I could stay here for another 9 months or whatever. It would just be more convenient. The rents in Austin, where I am, are not, you know, they're about in the range that I'm paying, you know, and it seems like to find a better deal, I would have to probably get a smaller place, and I've gotten very accustomed to having this separate office and a separate living room and a little kitchenette, and you know, it's not like a huge place by any stretch, but it's good. It's fine for two people who don't have many great needs, and then it's fine for one person who has my needs, my engineering needs. I have space for all these shelves and stuff. Yeah, so moving to another place is going to be a hassle. I haven't had a driver's license for a while, and I don't plan to get one this month, which maybe I should somehow. I don't know. I've never had a Texas license, so I'll probably have to do like the whole driver test thing and everything, and then I have to borrow a car, and I don't even know how to go about all that. Like call an Uber and be like, hey, could I borrow? I don't know. Maybe they have like a car you can borrow for the test at the, I don't know how you do it. You gotta have connections, I guess, friends in high places with cars. But yeah, so I don't know, just getting to a new place is gonna be a hassle. I have to hire a mover and then pack all this stuff up, and half of it I know I don't want to keep because it's all like, you know, it's furniture that we just kind of gathered from the dumpster as we were moving in. We're like, oh, this will work, this couch. Oh, they don't want this table, we'll take this table. So yeah, and this desk I'm using now was a total find. Pretty much, yeah, most of the stuff in here, in this apartment is like things we just found. Kind of good. I like working that way. I've always liked working that way. Not that I have the most comfortable furniture all the time, but it works, you know. So let's just make sure we have everything sorted. Oh, and origin. Because I have a lot of unreachable things. I guess I'll use git prune while we're here. Good. And we'll do a quick git GC as well. Garbage collect. Okay, there we go. Next we have, let's see. I guess I'm going to do a git reset hard origin this branch. There. Now I can find the thing I was looking for. Hey, there it is. So yeah, this has a .str, I believe. Hello? Oh, weird. Okay. It's not glyphs, is it? No. Okay. It's being weird. I could have sworn that I had it set up such that, oh, I see. I'm just using address of status message. I gotcha. Yeah, that's one way to do it. I'm using the address operator to get the address of the string, not the class. Like, why would you want the address of the class? You have the address of the class. Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, anything else besides that in our error? Looks like that's pretty much it. So, okay. Hopefully that brings us up to date. And we'll just put that over here in the status message code and upload it. See, can you believe we've had all this Marlin for so long with no string of class? It's like no class at all. Next. Let's see, anything since then? Oh, this SKR3 is apparently in some sense broken. I'm sure I've reviewed this already. But let's make sure it's good. Oh, wait, no, not my string helper class. The one I just switched to, please. Oh, there we go. So what's broke on? Oh, I see. It just needs a newer version of STM32 platform. Wow, it's very specific. Which is fine. I mean, we were already specifying this whole thing. So that's an interesting choice. Like, you know, you gotta go for that one. I feel like if you get 15.4.1, you're automatically gonna get this. But let's just move on. It's the thing. It's like if I knew, if I knew everything, I'd be like, ah, perfect. Or I'd know what to do, but I don't know. I don't know nothing. Right, so I'm wanting to use GitHub Desktop so I can get my, hello, there we go. I just want a pretty icon. Let's see, this is something fixing the build, so let's just go with that. And I'm going to call it env just to be a little clearer. No, it doesn't seem clearer, but the one place we use env is inside the ini files, and it's very consistent. So I'm like, when I see those three letters, I know, let's look at the inis. Yeah, so that's that. Hey, there we go. I know what you're saying. I could do that. I could do that job. What makes him so special? Please do. Come on in. Join me. Together we can rule the universe of Marlin together. CNC system and macro variables. It's an idea that is being worked on. I'm not sure. I mean, CNC has its own concepts, like of how to do things, and they feel old world in a way. You know, you've got these new numbered variables, and they pertain to specific things, and I don't know. It's almost like you want to have the ability to do like a plug-in kind of thing. I mean, everything in Marlin is kind of like a plug-in. Turn it on, turn it off, but. And here's a BL touch bug apparently by, I want to say Garog. It ain't George. Girugi Foo. Let's see. Right. So some things, this one, timer 3, like this is, it's one of those things where I'm like, is that really, has it been, since Cheetah's been in so long, do we really just now figuring out that timer 3 is the right timer? Like, really? I'm always skeptical, and then I'm a little annoyed when these things come up, because I'm like, that should have been known at the time. Like, how does this get in? Do I have to, I guess I have to independently validate everything, don't I? I can't trust people. Can't trust myself, hell. All right, probe pin for BL touch Z-min. Again, what? Why? See, that just doesn't make any sense, because you just wouldn't use the Z-min pin in that case. You would use the, you know, if you're using the same pin and then you're setting up this, if num servos is greater than 0, why? Servo, it doesn't even conflict with the servo, does it? Oh, the other one conflicts with the servo, I see. And this is Z-min for BL touch, why? Again, this is like, this all is a very annoying Like if you're going to use need to, it implies that, you know, a person has a need. I don't want to impute emotions to people. Then comment at this line to proceed. If enabled BL touch, I just don't like this kind of stuff. Like we don't, you know, why is BL touch special? You know, as a I mean, you do need to have a BL touch attached in some sense. Why would you, if you're using a BL touch, then you are using it like a servo to command it, so you do need a servo pin either way. But then it can't be the Z-min at the same time. Yeah, see, I'm not liking this at all. This is really strange. So, you know, what do you do in this case? It's like there's some confusion here. Is it mine or is it the person submitting this? What do you think? First of all, no, it's not going to be, because that's the opposite of what you said right there, right? If you've got a servo, then this is your Z-min, as it were, for BL touch. Okay, what board are we talking about? The Cheetah V2.0? I actually may have this. Let me check my pile. Hold on. I can take a closer look at it myself. I mean, I could get I guess I could just go and look it up and get the diagram, because Fisetsi has all their stuff online, but I'm going to just check my pile and see if I've got it. Cheetah 2. Okay, hold on. Cheetah, where are you? Oh, Cheetah. Hold on, it's in the other room. All right. Hello, I'm back. Yeah. Okay, I don't have the Fisetsi. It's interesting. I always assume I do because I've got like so many maker-based boards and so many big tree tech boards. Thank you, by the way, for your help in getting these supported. But yeah, Fisetsi not so much. So let's find out what it looks like. And hopefully that tells us something. Fisetsi. I don't know. Does everybody say Fisetsi? Am I the only one? Oh, here it is. Okay. Cute. It's a cute board. So, yeah, I'm kind of surprised I don't have it. Yeah, I definitely don't. I would remember that cuteness. I'd be sleeping with it under my pillow. It's so cute. Let's see. All right. So what do we got? We have lots of little vias for cooling, that's neat. We have, it's very basic looking, huh? So there is is there a dedicated BL Touch plug was the question. So that's serial, I'm pretty certain. What do we got? You got your 3-pin servo. I assume this may be it here. It's not well marked. Let's take a look around here. Maybe there's a diagram. Hardware, please. Schematic, PDF. That's how we do, yo. Let's see. It doesn't really give a nice overview with the board in the picture, but it does show us our units. So yeah, you've got 2208, 2209 thingies. For those, you've got all these thingies. Okay. And what is it about servos? There's something funky about them because they always create so much noise on the board. I'm not sure why. Is it that they require like more amperage or something than your typical circuit? Okay, so chip to MOSFET to, yeah, there's your step signals. There's your, okay, here we go. Filament detection has got its own thing going on. Z-min has got its own thing going on. And what was, is there it says Z-min for BL Touch signal and then probe pin. Yeah, oh, here it is, BL Touch / PWM. So I assume that is the servo signal to the BL Touch to tell it where to go. Okay, so it's considered an output for the BL Touch. I just don't quite see why you would use it when you have a Z-min. Unless you wanted, I mean, if you want to combine the two and have a Z-min plus a probe, that's, you know, you just do this. I'm using a Z-min plus a probe, and that's what you use. So I'm trying to understand why. Maybe this person is confused. Garogi. Garog, I want to make sure I understand where you're coming from. The default cannot be used as output because it has BAT85. What's that? Well, okay, that's fine, but the probe pin isn't used as an output. It's never used as an output, it's an input. It's like, you know, it's just the same as an end stop. And the servo is the only thing here that is labeled in any sense an output. I'm confused. I'm gonna just have to ask Garog what's going on, man. Only the servo pin that tells the BL Touch, well, sends commands, we'll say. Sends commands to the BL Touch. Needs to be an output while being used with BL Touch. I don't know, because that's redundant. Let's see. So the PB1 is the Z-min, huh? That's what you're saying? Normally? I don't see why it would ever be. I can see why. I guess I may have been through this before. Have we been through this before on one of my streams? I'm sorry if I'm going through it again. But yeah, I guess what I'm seeing is if you want to have both, then you need some other input. But it looks to me like you would basically, if you're just either going to have a probe or you're not going to have a probe. And when would you have a probe plus an end stop? You know, like if you do have a probe plus an end stop, if it's a BL touch probe, well, you're kind of screwed, aren't you? You have because you only have one, you know, input. So I am a little confused. I'd like to get it more explicit. Looking for a way that the board could, that you could have both Z min or Z end stop and a probe not used for homing. I guess. Do I need to be that explicit? I always worry about misunderstandings. If you're looking for a way that you could have both a Z end stop and a probe not used, wow, yeah, I guess I've been conditioned my whole life to expect not to be understood. So sad, so sad. But here's what I want to know. And a probe and a BL touch probe. Looking for a way that you could have both a Z end stop and a BL touch. It looks like that wouldn't be possible to me. I don't know. Do I have to make a Venn diagram? Figure it out. Let's see. But it would be fine to have both a probe pin and a Z stop pin. For simple probes, you know, that don't need a servo pin to receive commands. And it is just a PWM pin, actually. And most of the time, it's just the servo pin is chosen. I don't know if that is something about the voltage or the amp level, the current level, that matters for that. I don't think it does particularly. But I do know that servos are noisy. It's one thing I've always noticed. Okay, so only the servo pin that sends commands to the BL touch needs to be an output. So we're looking for a way to get both a Z end stop and a BL touch probe. It looks like that wouldn't be possible, but it would be, I don't know what to say, possible. I don't want to say fine, because that's more of a moral judgment, right? It'd be possible, but not fine. Don't even try it. To have both a probe pin and a Z-stop pin for simple probes that don't need a servo to receive commands. I'll try to make that more explicit here and see affairs. Sure. Again, this is not something we would want to do in every bloody pins file, right? So we obviously have some kind of, we've thought about this before. If you have some situation where you really want to get something special going on, like what is this? You need to set jumper to 5 volts for BL touch. Fine. Which jumper? Let's take a look. Maybe we should mention which jumper. I'm like, I'm not the jumper type myself. Composite drawing. Oh, that might be cool. Oh, look, a composite drawing. Nice. Okay, so yeah, sorta. Fildet. Gotcha. Probe. There it is. Okay, so it is over here, actually. It's this particular plug. That's interesting. So it's... Oh, and then you have to set one of these jumpers. Probably, I'm going to guess, JP2. Is that the one? It's not really carefully shown here. It just says JP2. Okay, silk screen. Nice. 2412.5. Oh, I see. That's interesting. So 2412.5. Oh, interesting. 2412.5. Ooh. Curious. So maybe they pertain to something else? I don't know. 2412.5. Fan. And here it says 512.24. What is it, upside down? Is it the back? Is it flipped around? It is flipped around, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I guess it is flipped. Yeah? Yeah? Am I missing that? Where's that hole? Oh, there it is on the right side. Yeah. So it is flipped around. So, okay. 3.3 Fildet ground. Okay. Let's look at that picture again. So I'm thinking this one, right here? Really? Where is it? Darn it. Oh, this is the jumper. I see what you're saying. 5 volt jumper, 12 volt jumper, 12 volt jumper. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, yeah, it's not very super clear on that. I'm sure there's instructions and stuff that come with the board. Give a little more info. But yeah, here it is. Oh, okay. That's closer. Oh, what? That's what they show. Okay, well, that's interesting. I mean, that makes sense if you're using the probe as your Z end stop, right? Clipper, sensor is PA0, control PB1. Yeah, right? So what else do you want? Right. Oh, okay, there's a lot of info here. And then they have you using Cube Programmer. Okay, why not, I guess. Sure. Sure, I mean, sure. Come on, guys, come on. Oh, are they using Clipper or something? I don't know. I would think you should have the no bootloader option. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Visetsi Cheetah. All right, so that is this pin here, boom, which is the last end stop plug. Hello. I kind of like this composite drawing better almost. But yeah, that's the Z min. So right, so if you got a probe and then you also want to have an end stop, how's that going to work? I mean, come on. So you got, sure, you set your 5 volts here on JP2. I'll make a note of that. And then So what options are we looking at? Let's imagine, I guess I'll do the Venn diagram thing. So let's imagine a BL Touch situation. You are going to have a servo pin, first of all. Maybe you want a servo pin for something else. I guess we'll leave it. Now let's say you have a num servos is greater than 0. Sure, you wouldn't be using PB1 in that case, I suppose. Is that how I do it? Greater than 0 everywhere? I guess I do. I don't quite know why you'd use PB1 as a stop pin unless you had, see what I'm saying? And like if you've chosen a different probe pin, which you could have done, then there wouldn't be any conflict. So, you know, you could still be using PA0 as your stop pin if you wanted. Again, this is a case of sort of an artificial situation. Like, yeah, I want to use the PB1 as my stop, but it's not something you would normally do. So, let's take a look at that option. What's it called? Use, oops, find, use Z, no. Hello, there we go. Z min probe uses Z min end stop pin. Right, which, you know, enables this thing. Again, could you combine these? I don't know why these things keep multiplying. This has never been it's not that confusing, man. But yeah, okay, so what do we got? Probe for Z homing. And has probe, has bed probe. Right, so that actually comes up before pins, so we can use that. We may not need to do that because I think this ends up being undeft or something. Yeah, so okay. So I want to kind of look at this. So you got a probe and you're homing, and but then you have a bed probe, but you're not using the probe for homing. Then you must be using this, right? Imagine if I spend this much time on every line. Nothing would ever happen, right? Well, if you're using your probe for z-homing, then you do have, that's the only time this matters, actually. So, I think, damn it, no, it doesn't. You're confounding me because I know what you want, but I don't know why. Like, when is this gonna be a thing? You need to home to max, or you're trying to build a delta with this board, maybe? So you need a Z-max, and then you also want to have a probe that is not used for homing, and you have it connected separately. So I'm gathering you are not using the probe for homing. Therefore, you need both pins. So my thought is maybe something like this. Like normally it's PA0, it's always PA0. But this is what it's labeled on the board again? Z min, okay. That's what these comments are generally for, is you put the comment that, you put the silk screen of the board there. Helps to identify the pins, on the board. Try to give them the same, label that they have here. Right, XP1 marked twice, and then the XP2 marked again. I don't know what that is. If I set Z. Okay. Well, let's see. It would never be PB1. PB1 is, no, it's not. Stop labeling it that way. Jerk, what is that? Come on. You can't mark it as being that standard. That's just not what it is. And then we get this. So let's bring this down here. Okay, that's fine. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know why those jumpers are there. Would you have a 12-volt probe or something connected to that. That's interesting. Wonder what they expect you to do there. Just don't know. All right. Now let's see if we got this straight. If disabled, use probe for z-homing. And so the probe is not being used for homing. And this thing is called, I guess it's just one of the servo pins, right? Does it actually have a name of any kind? I'm not seeing it. Give me a name. I guess it's just called BL-touch PWM. Should definitely refer to the documentation, you know. So here we have, yeah, again, Z-min. And, you know, we can mark these as well. I think that's just marked X-min as well. And, you know, Y-min. So you got that going. Okay, and I'm thinking if the probe pin, there is, like when you're using the probe for homing, then, sorry, this is silly. If you are using the probe for homing and your probe pin does equal, wait, no, you're not using the probe for homing, but you do have a probe and it's PA0, then you need a separate end stop, right? But also, if you know, has-bed probe is kind of important here, so. Oh, well, that's true, that won't be enabled, but yeah, so I need to be able to say, maybe it's the opposite condition I really want to be checking, you know? If enabled or Z-min probe pin doesn't equal A0, then you can do that. Yeah? What do you think about that idea? If I'm using the probe for homing, then there is a probe pin, first of all. And therefore, no. Damn it. And also PB1? I don't know. Try this. Let's just say if has-bed probe yeah. Darn it. I do want it to be as explicit as possible, but again, I mean, you've only got some pin. I mean, you could repurpose any pin that was free, you know, so why pick this one? You know, it doesn't seem like it's the easiest pin to use, but I mean, any pin could be used, and why not like you've got the fill detect pin, like you could be using that instead, you know? You could be using PB5 instead, honestly. Since if there was no filament runout pin, you could use that. You know, why pick this one in particular? I don't know. So let's see, there is, I kind of want to say zmin probe uses the end stop pin just to make it clearer that it's using the end stop pin, but it's using it anyway, which is kind of what is getting on my nerves. It's like that would be the typical arrangement, you know? You would just have that enabled and then, but it's the fact that you're not using the probe for homing that means that you need a separate end stop. I'm kind of wondering why, if you had a separate probe, why you wouldn't just plug it into the servo pin that you're not using instead. You know what I mean? I'm kind of thinking more along these lines, where you say if it's a BL touch, you know, or CR touch or whatever it might be, then you would have to use zmin, right? Kind of like these. That's what you would use, but then again, this is like that question, why do you want to have the ability to home without the probe, right? You need some other pin. I don't know, man. It's confusing to me. I'm not sure what the guy's going for here. Honestly, don't. Like again, it's nothing. Like this is what you would prefer is PA0, man. This is what you'd always prefer. Oh, and this is marked as PB1 is zmin. I don't see that it is zmin, is it? Is it? What are we changing here? It's going from the old code. So sorry for putting you guys through this. This is really annoying to me. PB1 is the normal zmin pin. Okay. What? But then so is the servo? That doesn't make any sense. doesn't make any sense. Again, it doesn't make sense. It shows this being plugged in, you know, over here. When you have a BL touch attached, it goes here for the servo control part of it, and then it goes over here for the signal part. So, what the hell? It is confusing, man. I don't know where you're coming from. Let's take another look at the pins. What pins do we know? Well, actually, there's a configuration here, right? It says use PB1 for the control pin and PA0 is the sensor pin. Right? And that's what it shows here, presumably. PA0 is this. So is that wrong? Is that what you're trying to tell me, buddy? Garogi? Is Garogi even on here, man? I gotta see if he's on Discord. Hold on. Maybe I can find a Garogi and ask some questions. Is it Garogi? Garogi Foo? Garoj Foo. Hello? Do you exist? No? Sure, he's a GitHub user, but he's not anywhere on the, and it's all in the bot channel. But wait, no, nope. Okay, never mind. He's not a Discord user, so it's hard to find him. Okay, you know what? If you're using a FiceEtsy board with a Cheetah 2.0, and you want to sort out your end stop, and you let me know how you did it. And we'll sort this out, because it seems to me that either their documentation is wrong or this is wrong. So I don't know which to trust. PA0 is supposedly Zmin. You know, if PB1 is servo pin, well, it can't be, you know, it can't be. I mean, then okay, fine. Then the servo pin is PB1 and the stop pin is PA0. You know, if that's the case, let's at least do this part, right? If there's no probe pin, yeah, it can be, but this is what I'm kind of saying here, is like, yeah, if you're not using if you need a separate probe and end stop, then, you know, you need these to be different. Now I think that if this is actually marked as Zmin, again, I should put the other marks on here too. And if this is actually, you know, BL, so yeah, the only thing I can see here is like, okay, if I want to have both, then I need to make this not equal that. That's pretty much what I'm seeing. Right? Why choose PB1 though as an input? I don't know. I don't think that's your best first choice. What do you think? Oh, is my friend gonna come by? On the way. Okay, good, cool. Oh, he can't stay. He's just dropping off some stuff and then going. Oh, okay, that's fine. Don't mind a visit, even if it's brief. All right, yeah, we're an hour and a half or an hour into our thing, and I've just been wasting time here. If you are not using the probe for z-homing, then I could also not num servos, or num servos equals 0, I guess, makes sense. If disabled and num servos equals 0, then now again, you may have, if you don't need the fill runout pin, you could use that, So, it's a matter of choice. But I guess if you've set it in your config, then you can, kind of ignore it. Right, okay. I mean, it seems pretty clear to me that, if you're saying the servo pin is PB1, then it can't be, then it's not zmin. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just think there's a big kerfuffle here. It's just confusing. Sometimes I think y'all trying to confuse me. You're just trying to confuse me. Right, PA0, zmin. Might as well mark it. All right, moving on. Now that's from 19 days ago, so it's still, up in the air. MKS blanking on ST-right. That's an interesting one. I think I may have this sorted, but I don't know. Eduardo, let's see. Did I get that all sorted out? Oh, look, Luke is here. Oh. No, not every library, but are you the maintainer? Meh. If you're the primary author and maintainer of the library, then we'll point to yours. What I don't want to do is point to some other fork. It would be better if it was a separate branch under your own fork. At least. Right? Right. Draft state. What's a draft state? I don't see a draft state. We have something called draft, you know. All right. Yes. Yeah, like you don't expect me to remember that Luke GitHub is the primary maintainer of ESP3D lib. If he is, great. If he's not, you know, but I mean, what I'm getting at is, like, you know, if there's going to be multiple forks of this thing and who knows where they came from. Okay, so it appears to be the top level. It seems to be he's the author. It's not, yeah, sponsor. There we go. LiberaPay. Nice. I like it. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know there was such a thing. LiberaPay. I'll send you something. Hold on. Let's see. But anyway. Yeah. You got to check these things, I guess, before I ask dumb questions. You know, and generally speaking, these things should be tagged, or, you know, a tag or a branch works, frankly, because they work the same way. We can fetch either one. So anyway, the real fun stuff, getting into the configurator. Okay, that's gonna happen. I'll do that after my buddy comes by and drops off his stuff. I wanted to give him a laptop anyway. Old laptop that's bailing out of here, and then I'll be back to this. I am keeping an older MacBooks just so I can run like 32-bit PowerPC Intel 32-bit Intel games under Steam and stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's the one thing I don't want to do, is just I don't want to merge that with pointing to someone else's fork if it's like, you know, because we just I can't keep track of all these many forks and things. Okay, so that's fine. We'll delete that for now from my local copy. Next. Okay, there's some shared, oh, this thing with the shared PID, yeah. Oh, P, thanks. Appreciate that. I was a little worried that something like draw float would be getting like would be taking a reference. Let's double check that. If it's taking a reference, then I can't do much. Heck, draw float, row false, etc. Oh, sorry, I'm feeling a little floaty myself. Didn't get the best sleep last night. Drinking too much of this good strong coffee. Also boredom and loneliness, you know. Well, it's got me like keeping bad hours. I sit up, like, watch too many videos and stuff at night. I'm like, I feel less lonely. All right, float value. Okay, fine. Is value getting messed with? No. All right, so that's cool. Just had to check that. You wouldn't want to be taking something else. Okay, cool. Any others? .kp. I guess I should search for that. See if there's anything. Modify value. Here's one I assume has to be taking. Oh wait, it's not taking the address. Let's see if modify value is taking a reference or something. It's just taking, oh, it is taking a reference. So, yeah. Again, it's like, and then it takes a void pointer. I should say a function. It takes a function with no arguments is at the end. And I don't know what that does. Maybe it's a post processor or something. But yeah, so yeah, I see update PID. So yeah, it does that. Okay. Yeah, those are the ones I gotta watch for. So hello. .kp. Yeah. I'd almost rather it didn't take a reference just so it'd be clearer. You know, it's like, it's one of those pitfalls of references. Here we are. KP equals KP. Okay, so they're not doing anything there. That's actually important to be doing it there. So, all right, I think those are all fine now, I guess. Fine. Ooh, excuse me. I promise I won't be yawning a hell of a lot more. I'm going to load up on this caffeine. I'll be shaky and yawning, I guess. Yeah, unscale PID, blah, blah, blah. This one's interesting because it... Oh, okay, P doesn't have an unscale. It doesn't matter. Either one would work, frankly, but... Okay. Yeah, so we got set KI, set K... Yeah, we've got setters and getters, as it were. So, anyway, that can all be done later, I guess. In the meantime, the main thing was just to get these sort of, some issues sorted out. This doesn't change config, so I think it's safe to go. It's time to go hard, baby. Okay. Yeah, I did all this stuff like refactory, which is like the worst refactoring ever, but feel free to step in and clean this up. Set KP, set KI, set KD with all this stuff. I mean, look at all this. It's like so repeated, but I was having issues where if I tried to do inheritance, that was when I was running into trouble. It would start to complain, oh, you can't use that, you know, braced initializer with something that inherits from something. That's not allowed. It's bad. It's not allowed, baby. You can't do that, man. All right. I feel good about this one. Let's just merge it, even though it's ugly. I would almost like to, I was thinking of doing like a temperature types thing and just making it a separate file because this is ridiculous in a way. But oh well. It's kind of, you know, stuck where you're stuck. You get what you get. Let's see what the last comments are. Yeah, I mean, it's not a vital change, honestly. It's just that it would make things more consistent, and I would like to continue that trend. So, yeah, fix shared PID. Should I take some credit on this one? I think I will. Hey. And I don't usually like to be so credity, but can't hurt. So let's call this a Band-Aid, baby. Should I? Ah, heck, we'll give it a bug, a full-scale bug. Wish the bug looked more like a spider. I guess I could go with that, huh? It's more obvious that it's a bug. And also, our caterpillars aren't strictly bugs, they're insects. key. Let's delete that. Boop. How we do in bug fix 2.1? Yeah, there will be a 2.1.2 release right around the corner. Oh, I hear myself. How's it going, Jimmy? Jimmy's DIY. What's up? Oh, more of the same. Fixing those bugs I had no idea were there.
Gotcha. I figured I saw you in here. I'll let you know that there might be a possible bug I just can't reproduce, but it's with 422 silent board. Um,
Right
I
on.
have it on my Ender 3 Pro. So when you flash it, the 2.11, it
Right.
doesn't flash fully. It just sits at blank screen for a while. Like I
Hmm.
let it sit for a good 15 minutes and it's just sitting there. And then I turn it off, turn it back on, reflashed it to 2.093,
Yeah.
and then boot it right up. And then I flashed it again, same file.
I have to grab the door. Hold on. But yeah, I think try disabling like most features and get it as small as you can and see if it still has problems.
Yeah, no, nothing. It didn't work. So I reflashed the same file. Like I tried. So totally stock, same thing, blank screen. And then I flashed my custom built again, flashed perfectly. I'm like, what the heck?
Got inspect. Somebody thinks I'm still there. Just punch
Totally
me.
awkward. So
How's it going?
All right.
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm great.
Got it all sealed up. Right out of the
Sweet.
baggies.
What is this?
How's
Can't
these
smell a
though?
thing.
Yeah.
Looks. I'm sure it's great. Let me feel that.
Yeah, it's super frosty.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I noticed all three of them were like, wow, these are all really
Yeah.
interesting. You had to make some like picture indicas and stuff.
Yeah, this one's hand
Nice.
indica.
Yeah. So sugar.
Nice 99 one.
Yeah. Coming up soon.
Yeah.
So is it 200 or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. Need to purchase and run, but
Nice.
I
Yeah,
guess
you're good. You're good.
so.
But yeah, you be safe.
I will, and you too.
You enjoy the rest of your week. Or I
Absolutely.
guess yeah, it's still a
Absolutely.
week already.
All
I
right.
guess tomorrow is.
How do you like those? Your
I like
things?
them. I like talking. It's easy to like, make phone calls and stuff, so you
Yeah.
don't have to like hold your phone up. You know.
Yeah. Good sound though.
Yeah, really good.
I'm getting a little sick of my headphones.
Yeah.
They're cool and all.
I just got the original. Like they make new ones with like the plastic inserts, but I don't like that.
Yeah.
I just like the old ones.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might go with that because I prefer used refurbed. You know, it's cheaper.
For sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Be safe.
Oh, sorry, I had to run, but I'm back. Yeah, I got the sense that I mean, all the troubleshooting you can try various things. I mean, usually if it's a flash issue, it's because the firmware is too big, and it just won't fit. Or you have a chip that's like you think it's a 512, but it's actually a 256.
no, it is 512. I looked at the board.
Right on.
This is I pulled this board out of my friend's Ender 3 V2. Ender 3 V2, yeah.
Okay.
This is for old 422 board
Yeah.
with 512 flash. But yeah, no, it's odd. So I used it like basically nothing enabled. Flashed it. It didn't work. And then
Right.
I flashed mine custom and it went through. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna touch it anymore.
Yeah. Um, and you're just flashing using like the SD card?
Yeah,
All right.
micro SD.
Right on. No, you don't have an ST link or anything like that.
No, just straight off the board.
Yeah, with an ST link, of course, you can flash it without a bootloader, but then you blow away the bootloader. Sometimes it's nice to have a bootloader. Uh, so yeah, at least if it's trying, that implies the bootloader is okay. But yeah, my thought is sometimes also it helps if you like make sure to delete all the firmware files off your SD card, and then But if your older firmware is working, that's a good sign. At least you know you can. But I haven't reflashed my Ender 3 V2 in a while. I probably should try it and just see how it's working. But yeah, if I can think of anything else, I'll throw your way. But
Yeah, no, I reflashed it. I'm not gonna touch it because this is my daughter's machine. I have
okay.
the Ender 3 standard with VTT SKR Mini E3 V2,
Hmm.
and that one's plastic. I don't have any issues with 2.11.
Oh, right on. Yeah, SKR Mini is one of my favorites too. That's a good
Yeah.
board. I think I have one. I've got an SKR2 sitting here
I have I have
that I use for
1.2
playing around.
SKR Mini 1.2 that is sitting collecting dust. I was thinking of replacing this 422 with that one, but the
Okay.
only thing that I don't like is because it doesn't have the dedicated BO touch port.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
And it's got DuPonts, so I don't like the DuPonts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely more of a fan of the what's the other style? Not Euros.
GS8.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Yeah, the only thing I can think is to like, yeah, just turn off as much stuff and just make there's sometimes been like there's like a timer conflicts here and there once in a great while that pop up that weren't aware of, but it all depends on what you're enabled. And if you're
I have
using
a
pretty
question
much,
for you.
oh yeah, sure.
Sorry to cut you off, but I noticed the older config files have like like it's defined the example folder in boot screen and also the config files and the config.advanced file.
Hmm.
The first definition thing is no longer in the new 2.11. Could that cause an issue or?
Which is missing? Let me open up one so I can look at it.
Yeah, let me just pull it up. Hold on. I have the.
And what's the name of the option that you're looking for? I need more of this.
Just gonna open up. Just give me a second. I'm opening up my file.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it says like define config example directory.
Okay.
It's not in the nor 2.11 is missing throughout, so that's missing throughout all the files.
Well, that only appears when you download it. The directory is just like it's an annotation for the downloadable files, so we can tell where they came from, and it's applied, but it isn't always there. It's just if you don't happen to have it, you can it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just there as just a way for us to be like, oh, this config, I know where to look that up on GitHub. I can find it over here.
Okay.
Hello, Zona Limitatore. How are you? Is it limitatore or limitratore? Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, we got on here. Upload. Next. A new board. SKR Mini E3 301. Let's see. How about that? Look out for Studio Dyn. I love your Studio Dyn, but you gotta be well behaved. Hope he's on his meds. Pause, still report SD printing byte XY. Unpause, still report. No, that's interesting. I wonder why it would want to do that. Is that like, I don't see why that matters. Card released, sure. Okay, well this I know. Looks to me like it needs a merge. Let's see what you actually got. Let's see what you actually got here. Whether printing or paused, keep reporting the status. Oh, interesting. Why? That's an interesting one. Not printing. Let's see.
3.1.
Hmm.
Oh wow. I know the 3 and the 2 has nominal changes, just big heat sink and
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty minor. There might be some other stuff. I'll see in a second. Let's see. Opula Lumen P&P. It's Lumen. I've never heard of Lumen before, and now they're suddenly popping up everywhere. Be right back. I'm going to refresh my tasty beverage. I'm going to get into now that it's around a little after 8. I'm going to get into the configurator stuff because that's what we're here for. I think. I don't know. Tomorrow I might just go full regression and just start working on Atari code or something.
Cool.
Beverage. Not just your average beverage. Not just your average beverage. That's better. Little indica sativa blend there. I mean, dark roast, light roast blend. All right. Wow, that's very fruit forward. Let's see here. What's going on? Opula Lumen P&P. So this is a pick and place, actually. So that's what this is all about. And there's been some really cool stuff going on with pick and place lately. Wait, is this the pick and place guy? Or is this the other guy? Oh yeah, it's our pick and place buddy. If you've been watching YouTube, there's an open source pick and place machine. And it's looking pretty good. And I don't know what it's running as firmware precisely, but I wouldn't be surprised if this pops up and gets its time in the sun for that. Hello, what's up? There we go. All right, so a new board, a new environment. It's STM32F4, which is great. A pins file. Here it is. Let's just put a new date on it. And quickly, oh, actually I should probably use VS Code. And because I've got a pins format thing to format pins automatically. Set up. I could probably set it up elsewhere in Sublime. Oh yeah. Let's see what's going on in Discord land.
Hey, do we have a emulator for like screen?
Yeah. Have you seen the simulator? It's pretty cool. You just download the simulator config, and then you can just build with it. So like, I'll show you an example here on the screen. I'll update the date here. Date. But yeah, I'll switch over to my bug fix branch here and just let's see. I actually have I have a sim here. Hold on. Config testbed simulator. Sure, all my test beds. So right now, I think the latest version is from my laptop. Let me do a quick rebase, as I usually do. Rebase, what fun. So what did I change here? Keep linear advance off until it's wanted. That's what I say. Oh, and experimental S curve. Yeah, sure. Okay. Good. So yeah, there's just basic simulator. So in VS Code, open up the auto build, and then I do just a quick build of this particular one, simulator Mac OS in my case. It'll show up as Windows on a Windows machine or Linux on a Linux machine. And then when it's done, it should take about 10 seconds more. All my cores are pegged, man. Oh, not anymore. Peg those cores, peg them. Please wait. Okay, there it goes. Now I get a build button. Now I get a run button, and we run, and up it comes. And then under this little tab here, we have a simulated screen, and I'll just move it over a little in case my head is in the way. Or if you're looking on Discord, you'll see it all. Those of you watching on your other things, oh good, my fat head isn't in the way, good. So yeah, this is it. And yeah, you just, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then there's also another, it also does the emulation of the TFT screen. You just have to set it up I actually set it up at the top so I could just quickly switch to one of these. So I'm going to pick TFT Classic UI, I guess. We'll do another build. This should be a little quicker. Fingers crossed. But yeah, the TFT screen. Oh no, this doesn't work. What did I need? Please select only one LCD controller. Hey. Apparently I forgot to do that. All right. Hurry up, Harold. We can't hang around here all day. There we go. And voila. ST7796 device. So this one,
That's awesome.
you can pop it out. Apparently. Apparently this has some kind of automatic popping in this thing. Cute. This is IMGUI. It's based on OpenGL and Simple Direct Media Layer. Pretty cool. So yeah, there's also touch, so you can see where the thing, as I click on there, it shows where the touches are. That's pretty neat. What else can it do? I'm trying to go into the menu, which I thought was a click, but hello? It's not really responding to my quote-unquote touches. Oh, I know what it is. I forgot. Yeah, if you click on a thing, it's supposed to go to that thing, but it's not responding. Let me try. Oh, you know what? I didn't turn on touch. That's probably what's going on. I'm thinking I didn't turn on touch. Let's see. Touch. No. Generic. Hello. Touch. 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 No, not touch me. Probe. It's touch screen. Let's see if that's something I need to enable. There's like an automatic calibration in there too. So build. Oh, it likes my touch. Good. I'm gonna have to throw up a warning about that. You built a touch screen, but you didn't enable touch. Ya idiot! What you doing? All right, here we go. So hopefully, oh yeah, there we go. Now it's got the actual controls on the screen. That's what you get. So yeah, here's my top left, my top right. Oh, okay, sure. It says calibration completed. Okay, so yeah, you just try and clicks, but we'll see if that works.
So I'm also in the auto-build Marlin plugin right now in VS Code.
Uh-huh.
How did you get that simulator option?
By using the simulator configuration.
Okay.
So if you want, I'll send you the link, a quickie link to get there, but it's marlinfirmware.org or whatever, GitHub, sorry, github.com/ or best way to get there, I guess, could you go to, whoops, where'd my Safari go? Come back here. Whoop. We'll go to, I'll just do my quickie shortcut, go to the download page, go to configs for the latest release. There they are. Configuration, examples, simulator.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, if you use these, then that's what that builds. And I haven't tried it on Linux yet. My current Linux machine is a Pi 400, so it takes like 12 minutes to build. It's crazy, but it does work. But it works. Yeah, it's really cool. It's great to have it because I can do so much debugging without having to have a board plugged in. Although the remote debugging is pretty cool, though I do like it, but it requires a little bit of a hassle because you're basically setting up a serial connection to talk to the board, and so you're kind of commanding it at a lower level. But there's some cool stuff about that because you get to see it in action, get the real cycles and all that. Where with ours, we're simulating cycles, and I don't know what the speed could be compared to, but you can see you can actually change the speed that it's running at. You can go to max or whatever. But I haven't really shown it off. There's actually, right now, this is the visualizer, but Chris, who's the main author of this, Chris Pepper, P3P to you and me, has been working on one based on my Prusa emulator using my little arrangement of STLs, and that's been coming together, looking pretty cool. He sent me some screenshots, which I suppose I can show that to you. Let me pull up the, see if I can find that chat. Yeah, so it's gonna look something like this. Of course, this is more right side up now. So yeah, that's the general idea, is to, have a bed slinger actually simulated so you can play around with it. And then a delta and I suppose a core XY, and because, if you want to actually watch the model being built and you've got a bed slinger, it's like it's flying back and forth. How do you focus on that?
That's cool.
But yeah, it's going to be neat. I'm looking forward to that. So they should have that pretty soon, I think. I've been kind of starting to go that way myself, but I was like, I don't have time to mess with it, but I would love to because it is fun playing with good old OpenGL. Let me see if that other display type, I think there's one more. Oh yeah, there's color UI rather than classic UI. try that one. Yeah, I really dig in the simulator. I could just screw around with the simulator all day. Right. So yeah, you get the one that's a little more like this.
I like this.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know if the touch is exactly quite right. Needs some calibration apparently. And yeah, this UI could use some calibration too. It's a little flickery. All right. Oh. Oh, what's up with that? It's a little jumpy. It's had as much caffeine as I have apparently. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. Of course, your serial console G28. G29. See, did you get it? G29, no. Oh, I don't have bed leveling turned on. But yeah, all that kind of stuff is there. Oh, we got definitely got to do the wrong click for sure. What are these? I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know why it's not picking up the touches correctly, but check it, something for another time. Yeah, I really dig it. Welcome to plugin time. All right, it's so configuration editor. Let's gather together some options. We can't have all these at the same time, so as much as I'd like to be able to enable them all simultaneously, let's prevent that. So I think I might do something along the lines of have a section called kinematics. I'm doing a lot of this by just tweaking the configs themselves. And thus I should be working in, guess. I need a new branch for the stuff I've been messing with, but for now this will be fine for what I need to do. All right. Wow, it's been a little while since I've been at this. So let's see, core XY. So we're gonna go with kinematics. Okay, that's all kinematics. All of those mutually exclusive. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I had kinematically that's not here. Belt printer's there, I think, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so these are all mutually exclusive, so therefore I need to make that explicit in my configurator. So this is where it all happens. So we have an item, we use its info, and yeah. So we're going to need to fake it with some of these. In the case of add option line, I'm trying to think how would I manage that? I'm going to go with, if it's anything in kinematics, then it gets ignored, except for the first time. At which point it gathers all the kinematics and adds that. So let's just do this much. Inner append, okay, yeah. So a little tricky in that I want to be able to do things like find stuff with the filter. It'd be nice if you could type in reprap and have it show up, but it's the value, not the name of the option after this kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, the idea here is now to say if something needs to be added as a group, then it needs to be added as a group. Therefore, let's just say item section has it already been added? I guess I may need to set some flags. I hate to do it, but yes, forgot about the section part. Well, I see. Well, we'll come up kinematics, so we'll be in there. Well, we'll see what we get. No, this is jQuery, people. Yeah, may just have to just build a like, where does it add the section? Here. There we go. Interesting. Guess I could pre-build the sections, but why? Let's see. Field set sections sect ID.
firmware for 3 different boards.
Oh yeah.
And then I forgot to turn on the baby stepping for Z offset. I'm like, oh god. I wrote down the value so this way I don't have to recalculate because I was just bumping up the firmware version and I just keyed in the values and I'm like going through while you're going through. I'm like, oops.
M503.
Yep.
Save that stuff for later.
Time to recompile.
Okay, so now what I want to do is add everything from kinematics.
What is the when you do the build, right, and show AVM panel, it says like Creality Expert, and then there's a Maple. What are those for?
Well, Maple is a different set of libraries that you can build against, or I should say more of a, it's like the direct hardware connection, like it's the lowest level thing between to talk to the those particular like processors, and then so in Maple is like more of an open thing and kind of like it's meant to be license free. So it's sort of been stalled here and there, but it seems like maybe they're picking back up again. So I don't know if we had marked it as deprecated, but it might just have a revival. So we'll see. Meanwhile, it's part of it is just the backlash against having the chip shortage and everything, and having to use third-party processors and deal with ST micro licensing, I guess, mainly.
Yep.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, fun shit going on. Let's see. Find section. So I kind of am thinking,
My next goal is to turn on UBL and then also enable linear advanced to see if I could get it to work.
Right.
Yeah.
What can I do about that? So, yeah, I could do something silly like make my section markers. I don't want to make it seem like not kinematics. How about kinematics with that? Kinematics. Kinematics with a $sign. Kinematics in parentheses. I'll go with a question mark. Why not? Seems to be a little out of date. Yeah, it'd be nice if there was like some existing system to do this kind of thing, but damn it, there isn't. Okay, why are you misbehaving on me? This is the correct version, copy. I think it's just being silly. Oh, also, it probably doesn't like my code. Let's find out. It still says delta scar blah. What the hell? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, that's weird. I have things crashing. That's fun.
So if I enable linear advance, do I need to leave? And also, if I want to do the experimental S-curve, do I need to leave the define S-curve acceleration in configuration .h?
Yeah, that's what it's for. Otherwise, it won't let you build it. Yeah, because it's more stable now, but you know, still kind of under evaluation.
Gotcha.
Oops, reload. Oh no! It's time for debugging. Now what? Oh, find? Okay, fine. Okay. We get kinematics this time, or what? There it is. Okay. Okay, so here the trick is going to be for all the items that are in that section not to do that. And I guess, oh, also return. Right. I know we want to do some of this stuff. Let's see, like I would like to, well, thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just radio button these particular ones, but I have to be careful with these. Let's see what happens. And let's see, here we go. Use radio. Now let me see, if the name is going to be, I'm gonna have to be careful with the name. Name is item name, but an item value is item value. But I think what I'm going to do, don't think it's going to be one of those or one of those. Or at the moment, one of those. Let's see. Up there it is. It's going to be. It's not going to be one of those either. It's just going to be a switch with nothing else. Actually, there is no other input or value. Well, this will be interesting. Still haven't quite worked out how to bind all this together. Well, let's see if anything breaks at this point. Hopefully something interesting will break. Okay, there are radio buttons. None of them is checked. Oh, and I guess I need to allow for. And they're not, of course, they're not grouped either. I need to deal with that. Let's see what we've got here. A div, a label. An input, which is a radio. And a value, which is core XY. But the name should change. Remember, in PHP land, we would put braces on the name, and that would give us an automatic array. All right, well, the radios work because they're all named properly now. Oops. Not sure what's going on with that. Let's see. Okay, sure. Right, I like the dirty marker is like, what? I have to work on that. But yeah, with radio buttons, like, how does the dirty part work? I don't know. These have all been touched in some way. Of course, I need to enable the ability to completely just, not select a radio button, or just stick in a none option automatically, or something. Hold on, I'll be back in a moment. Or not. Got a few things to figure out. I'll be back.